Hey guys, how are we doing? Back with another video from Totally Not Mark, and I'm really intrigued. I know that there are differences between the anime and the manga of Dragon Ball Super, but I've never really delved into it. I know little things like Vegeta did Super Saiyan Red God Mode against Zamasu in the manga. It didn't happen in the anime. I think that's the only thing I'm aware of. So this is going to be intriguing. The confusing canon of Dragon Ball Super and the anime and the manga. Let's have a look and see what he's got to say, shall we?
Kaioken!
Oh my god, what a moment.
Now this is an awesome scene.
Yes, it is.
One of my favorites, in fact, from the entire scene. It's not canon. What? It's not canon.
What?
It's filler. Akira Toriyama never wrote that.
What?
Don't worry if you didn't know that. I mean, not many people really do.
What?
Nor should they. If there's one thing that Dragon Ball Super could have done a better job with, besides character designs, animation schedule, character writing, story pacing, and public relations in general, really, it's that Dragon Ball Super has done a very poor job at establishing what is and isn't canon.
Oh.
The canon of an anime is the story from the manga it's adapted from, or
Yeah, but
more specifically,
I thought
it's
the manga
script
came
the
afterwards.
author of the story wrote. For example, in Dragon Ball Z, the Frieza vs. Goku fight is canon to the story because it appears in the manga written by Akira Toriyama.
Well, things that happen within the fight.
Gohan returning to fight Frieza midways through that fight isn't canon.
Oh.
It was included by the animation studio Toei and thus is considered filler. This, you might have realized, in relation to Dragon Ball Super, creates an even more complicated problem.
What?
Akira Toriyama isn't directly creating the Dragon Ball Super manga like he did back in the day with Dragon Ball. Which results in moments like this. Oh, he's gonna do the Kaioken thing. Watch, it's gonna be awesome. Oh. Yeah, okay. This is understandably disappointing for viewers that were expecting the Kaioken. And all of this confusion spawns from one place. A lack of clarity with what is and is not canon in Dragon Ball Super. But fret not, I have found a way. Okay, so, in a nutshell, when Dragon Ball Super was in the concept stage, Akira Toriyama wasn't really prepared to continue the manga by himself, and so instead, he wrote a rough outline of the story he wanted to tell and left both Toyotaro with the manga and Toei Animation with the anime to fill in the gaps on their own. These notes that Toriyama wrote are the real canon of Dragon Ball Super, and that's what we're here to find today. This, therefore, means that if we compare the anime with the manga, we will find that what is the same is canon, and what is different is the filler.
Right.
So let's begin. The Resurrection F movie from 2015 is a weirdly paced story, but it is 100% an Akira Toriyama product. The movie serves, therefore, as the true canon of that story. The 2012 Battle of Gods film, however, was written in an era without Dragon Ball Super in mind, and thus you have lines like this.
So it's been very long time since I last saw you fighting with nearly 70% of your power.
Yeah, so the movie is a little outdated, and so we gotta use the anime instead. I'm gonna try to get through this as fast as possible. The following is filler. The species that serves Beerus and Whis do not have specific designs provided by Akira Toriyama. There's no giant snake subplot with Goten and Trunks, thank God. Episodes 2, 3, and 4 of Dragon Ball Super are filler, including Vegeta's family vacation. That's a shame. Goku's body reacting to Beerus on its own, acting as a prelude to Ultra Instinct, does not happen in the manga, and therefore is also filler. This, however, is canon. The manga shows a lot of Champa and Thanos in this particular arc, but that too is filler, as it does not happen in the anime. Strangely, there's no Pilaf gang in the manga during this section either, so unless Toyotaro is ignoring or skipping through this story, that means the Pilaf gang isn't necessarily canon yet in Dragon Ball Super. And finally, Goku doesn't fight Beerus in Super Saiyan form after losing his god power without realizing it. And that concludes Battle of Gods, and now it's time for Universe 6. The entire first episode of the anime with Goku and Vegeta training, Beerus and Champa having some sort of food competition, and the tournament rules being decided upon it is pretty much canon. Minus a few specifics like the food Champa brought, where the scenes take place, and the fat jokes at Champa's expense. It's also explained that the winner will receive a wish with the Super Dragon Balls. There's a really nifty fight scene between Beerus and Champa that takes place in the manga, but it's, say it with me now, filler. Goku and Vegeta rendezvous back at Bulma's place to unload all of the information and make a plan to find the remaining Super Dragon Ball. Oh, Tights exists. She's canon. Jaco is called upon to escort Bulma to that big, weird, jellybean-looking plot device. I mean, Zuno, the entity that answers any question. What I think is particularly funny about this analysis is that it also pinpoints the Akira Toriyama jokes because they appear in both versions. questions. I like to think he leaves really vague outlines from most
like,
of the
this
story,
needs to be
and then
in next
suddenly
it's
gets
funny.
really specific about the wording of a particular joke. Like Piccolo finally understanding that Saiyans like strong women, or when Bulma's chest size is revealed. While all of this is
Yeah, of
happening,
course.
Champa and Vados are hard at work creating the arena the tournament will take place in. The location of the tournament is canon, but the aesthetic of the arena itself was left up to interpretation, with the anime and manga differing considerably. While Goku and Vegeta recruit Piccolo and Majin Buu, Bulma arrives at Zuno's place. In the anime, Jaco apprehends a criminal near the entrance. That is filler, as it does not happen in the manga. Bulma is granted 3 questions, and while getting the information she wants through exposition, which is canon, she also wastes most of the questions, which is also canon. Goku and Vegeta electing to use the remainder of their time in the chamber, 3 years, is canon. However, the awesome shot of them reliving their fight in the Saiyan saga as Super Saiyan Blue from the manga
So good.
isn't canon.
No!
Additionally, bearded Goku and Vegeta aren't canon either.
I just bought those Funko Pops.
Monaka,
No!
however, is canon. And his introduction to Goku
I bought the
as
Funko
the
Pops with them
strongest fighter
posing
from Universe 7
like that.
is too. But the location which the introduction takes place differs, and so there is no set canon introduction space for these characters. Whis' transportation cube is canon, and the gang that travels there to spectate is also canon. I confirmed this by cross-referencing the manga's gang with this incredibly high-quality image from episode 32.
Wow.
Now that's how you draw a woman.
Yes,
when
it
they
is.
arrive, we meet all of the same characters, even that weird alien penguin thing that sings the anthem of the universe. Everything is pretty consistent with both versions, besides the circumstances Universe 7 meets the other fighters from Universe 6. In the manga, they are lined up, and in the anime, they are sitting in some waiting area. Additionally, the area where they sit the written test is different also. The test, however, is canon, and so is Goku barely scraping by. What's more is that there isn't actually a canon reason for why Buu fails the
they
test.
different.
He just fails it. One way in the manga and a different way in the anime. The tournament begins, and the order in which the fighters from these universes fight is the exact same with the same results. This was clearly on Toriyama's outline, but many of the fights differ. However, Botamo and Goku's fight hits pretty much all the same signposts. Goku struggles initially because he ate too much, warms up and starts getting the upper hand. Botamo reveals that he has some secret ability, but Goku eventually outsmarts him by judo throwing him out of bounds. It's a very Toriyama fight. Frost is up next for Universe 6, and again, his fight is almost entirely canon. Fake Good Guy transforms into his third form before rushing into his final, using cheating tactics with poison to overcome Goku. There's a trend, however, with these fights. The major points of the fight are canon, but the little bits in between where they talk differ, and some of the action does too. For instance, during Piccolo's fight, there are very few specifics besides him performing better than expected, and ultimately losing due to poison as well. No special beam canon, and no Demon King Piccolo reference from the manga. That's all filler. Jaco's eyesight, however, is canon. Seeing through Frost's underhanded tactics. Piccolo volunteers to step down for Vegeta, and he quickly takes down Frost. The speed of this isn't canon, however. The manga's version sees him toying with Frost a lot more.
Oh, sweet, that's class. Of course, because he sees Frieza with it.
With Vegeta that's actually canon is that he's much tougher than expected and ultimately loses because he doesn't like being insulted. Which means no Gallic Gun, Final Flash, or Dome around the fight from the anime. It's all filler. The Kappa versus Vegeta fight is largely canon. Kappa starts off well, is pushed into turning Super Saiyan by Vegeta, and ultimately is taken down easily using Super Saiyan Blue, making Kappa Vegeta's new pupil. There's a moment in the anime where Frost tries to
how
sneak
far are we
away
going?
to
We're
steal
going all the way,
cube
aren't we? We're halfway there.
but is intercepted by Hit. This is completely filler. Hit versus Vegeta is largely canon. Vegeta tries his best as Super Saiyan Blue, but can't quite get the job done. Vegeta not having any advice for Goku is also canon. Piccolo finds out that Monaka is a fraud, and so it's all down to Goku. The beginning of the fight is completely canon. Goku choosing to use his base form through trial and error, figuring out
Just
how
like,
Hit's
guess where he's gonna be next.
really works. They specifically tried to explain how Hit's time skip works and why Goku can eventually overcome it in the manga, but in the anime it isn't nearly as clear, so it's not a canon Toriyama explanation, and so Toriyama doesn't even know how it works.
Oh, damn.
The rest of the fight, though, isn't canon.
The
There's no Super
Kaioken's
Saiyan
so
God like
cool!
there is in the manga, and there's no Super
I remember
Saiyan
being
Blue Kaioken
my old
times
job
10
and
like there is in the
everyone
anime.
watching Dragon Ball Super at the
Does
time and going,
quit,
it felt like watching
however.
Dragon Ball Z
They
again.
fall against Monaka. This is all canon. Additionally, Zeno arriving and immediately befriending Goku is also canon.
Of course. Here we go. Oh god, here we go. I reckon there's so much different than this.
The vast majority of the future Trunks arc is filler, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. The canon parts are the first episode almost entirely, although the fashion Bulma dies at the hands of Black isn't certain. Trunks fleeing to the past. Trunks fighting with Goku. Zamasu traveling into a planet's future with Gowasu. Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks traveling into the future. Super Saiyan Rose's unveiling. Beerus erasing Zamasu in their timeline. That was awesome. The main cast fighting Goku Black and Zamasu before retreating to their past. Vegito's fight. The Mafupa. And finally, the circumstances surrounding Zamasu's eventual defeat at the hands of Zeno, resulting in the weirdest and most unsatisfying ending I've ever seen in Dragon Ball. That's all canon. Everything else, however, is filler. Yep, Goku Black traveling to the past to investigate? Filler. Goku Black going Super Saiyan in the manga? Filler. Vegeta's Gamma Burst Flash in the manga? Filler. There's definitely no weird but awesome new Super Saiyan transformation for Trunks.
Really?
No Father-Son Gallic Gun?
Father-Son Gallic Gun? Cool.
No Trunks Spirit Sword, no Army of New Zamasu, no Ascended Super Saiyan Blue, no defusing of Zamasu,
oh my god, that's so weird.
Zamasu turning into the sky isn't canon either. There's so much stuff in this story's telling from both the manga and the anime
so different.
Isn't Akira Toriyama, which begs the question, how much of this story did Toriyama
what did he actually come up with,
My guess is not a lot. Before we open up the crazy basket of spiders that is the Universe Survival Arc, it should go without saying that any of the filler episodes between the arcs are entirely
filler.
The Patafu arc, all of the episodes before the Universe Survival Arc, including Goku and Krillin's mini arc, that's all filler. Now, on to the Universe Survival Arc.
Here we do it.
The entire beginning of this arc is pretty much canon, from Goku selling his produce to getting ambushed by some criminals, as well as his traveling up to Beerus' homeworld, where he, against Beerus' wishes, teleports using the Zeno button to remind him about the tournament he spoke about. Oh, and Bulma is pregnant. There is this really cool fight scene in the manga between Vegeta and Beerus, where Vegeta gains the upper hand momentarily. But that, my friends, is dirty stinking filler. There's no room for that in this video. We gotta save space for Goku putting the universe at risk with Zeno, which is canon. There is a battle between the gods of destruction in both versions. However, they don't share many similarities.
Yeah, Beerus is meant to like completely kick ass in the manga, isn't he?
I wouldn't consider it specifically canon. Additionally, there is no exhibition tournament involving Universe 7 and Universe 9. Goku does face off, however, against Toppo, but the circumstances he finds himself in are entirely different in both versions, with the outcomes differing completely. Maybe Goku fighting Toppo before the tournament is canon, but nothing else about it really is. At this point, you might have also noticed that there are tons of vague plot points dotted throughout this story, and you'd be 100% right. And so Goku sets out to gather his universe's strongest fighters. Boo falls asleep and Frieza is recovered from the dead to participate, but the circumstances behind their recruitment is entirely different or not shown, which leads me to believe that Toriyama wrote down the list of participants with extremely vague outlines for how they meet or come to join their team, except for 17. 17's recruitment happens almost exactly the same way.
That's really interesting.
For the most part. It's almost like he was important to the story or something. There's no skinny in-shape Boo from the anime, there's no introduction to Jiren's character like in the manga, that's a shame, and the reveal of Universe 6's Saiyans differs somewhat too. That said, all of the characters of significance from the tournament are completely canon, and while Frieza's recruitment from the episodes 94 and 95 of the anime aren't canon, there are aspects to them that are. Both versions see Goku confront Frieza in the cocoon, and both versions end in them having come to blows for some reason. Everything else in the middle, however, is filler. And now, on to the tournament. I'm sure none of you will be surprised to hear that the 34-episode-long Tournament of Power is almost entirely filler. It does begin somewhat the same, with Goku, Vegeta, the androids, and Frieza leaping into solo competition immediately.
Makes sense. They're so powerful, it's like, why wouldn't
they? But that's about where the similarities end. Despite the lineup being the same, Gohan is wearing different clothing in the manga, and 17 scores the first ring out in that version too. In other words, who eliminates who? For the vast majority of the tournament isn't canon. It's quite all over the place in terms of continuity. One thing that does happen across both versions, however, is the Frost and Frieza truce that is made. And Frost does eliminate Krillin. That said, Frieza does betray this treaty between the two characters as soon as the opportunity presents itself. But again, there is no fixed circumstances for this to take place. Universe 9 is the first universe to go in both versions, and therefore is canon. Goku's first scuffle with Jiren in the anime, however, is not. It is almost entirely different in the manga. My guess is that Toriyama never wrote anything for this section other than Jiren being the one to knock Hit out. The order in which Universe 7's team is eliminated differs also. In the anime, it's Krillin, Tien, Roshi, Piccolo, 18, and so on. But in the manga, Roshi outlasts Krillin, Tien,
doesn't Roshi
18,
even,
Piccolo, and even Gohan. On top of that, he even holds his own against Jiren.
There we go,
worry, that's not canon either. And some good news, Kale and Caulifla do fuse and create Kefla, though there is no battle with Ultra Instinct Goku.
Oh.
Additionally, the circumstances by which Goku achieves his first
So weird,
taste
they're
of
so
Ultra
different, what
Instinct
the hell?
is not similar, thus making the state of Ultra Instinct canon, but the means by which it is achieved
Different. Wow.
Toppo becoming a god of destruction is also not canon.
What?
With Vegeta putting up a fight against Jiren in his first
How is something
outing
so
with the
big
character
not
is.
in both?
Additionally, 17 and Frieza tag teaming Jiren is canon, and so is the self-destruction 17 performed in an attempt to eliminate
Class.
the fighter. Vegeta's elimination isn't canon. He is seen fighting in the manga up until the very end alongside Goku before falling off seconds before Frieza tackles both Jiren and Goku into the void. So, in a sense, taking both Goku and Frieza to eliminate Jiren is canon. The winner being 17, Universe 7 winning, Frieza being brought back to life, and the other universes being restored, that is all canon also. And finally, all of the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly are 100% canon,
'Cause it's
and
all
the
Akira
script and
Toriyama.
character designs were created by Akira Toriyama.
There we go.
In conclusion, Dragon Ball Super's a mess and it makes my head hurt, but at least now you know what is and isn't canon. Maybe, kinda, I don't know, subscribe!
Why? Why? That was an amazing video, though. That was so good. I like how you condensed everything into a nice little, nearly 15-minute long video. That was awesome. God, so confusing, but cool. Like what? So many awesome things that happen in both that don't happen in this. Like both. It's like, why? Why? Cool. Like even the in between fights and that, but I like how Akira Toriyama definitely had things definitely in mind. Like 17 at the end and stuff was definitely there because of, you know, similarities between the introduction and stuff. That's class. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. That was brilliant. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch it discuss in future videos. I'll see you guys. Yes, all you guys. Next time.